Hi, it's Carly McAvoy. In part 6 of the midterm review, I'm talking about slope, finding the slope of a line from a picture, and using the slope to graph a line. So if you don't need any review on slope, you might want to just move on. If I have a line that's going down from left to right, as I see here, then I know that that slope is going to be negative. If I have a slope that's going up from left to right, then I know that that slope is going to be positive. Oops, and I graphed that this one came out the same as the first one, but let's change it to be a horizontal line. If I have a horizontal line, so ignore my slope, the line that I have, and let's look at this horizontal line. Horizontal lines have no rise. And remember, slope is rise over run. And if we don't have any rise, that is, our rise is 0, no matter what we have for run, 0 divided by anything is still 0. So those are always going to be m equals 0. If I look at a vertical line like I have here, well, this has all kinds of rise, but it doesn't have any run. It's not going left or right. Rise is what's happening up or down, and run is our horizontal change, or what's happening left and right. So I don't have any run, and if I have, no matter what I have for rise, if I have 0 in the denominator, that's undefined. And so sometimes we say no slope. So those are the 4 kinds of slopes that can happen, but we can actually figure out what the slope is from a picture. What I want to do is know from one point to the next, and I'm picking points that are actually on exactly on the on a corner here, like one of these places where the grid meets, because I want to know exactly from one to the other what happens. So to get from this point down to this point, I go down 6. So I'm going down 6. That means my rise is -6. And then I go from here over to 2, and my run is 2, so I have my slope equals -3. Okay, so I'm going down and then over. What if I went the other way? Well, if I went the other way, I would be going up 6, but I'd be going backwards too. So I'd have 6 divided by -2 would still give me a slope that's negative. I know it's got to be negative because it's falling from left to right. What about this one? I'm going to start here and end up here. So I'm going to go up 3, and then I'm going to go over 6. So I have a rise of 3 and a run of 6, and that means that my slope is 1/2. That means that I'm rising 1 for every 2 that I run. Here I'm rising -6, so we say it's falling -6 for every 2 that I run. Here I don't have any rise, I just have run. And over here I have all kinds of rise but no run. All right, so those are the 4 different things you can see when you're looking at slope. All right, use the slope and y-intercept to graph a line. This is the y-intercept. I know it is because if I have x for 0 for x, I know that it's got to be, I didn't go left or right, so I'm stuck on that y-axis. Remember, the y-intercept is b, so another way to write that is I could say b is -2, but I can also write it as an ordered pair, 0, -2. And then my slope is -2/3, and so if you put the negative in the top, then that tells you because you have a negative in the top, you're going to actually fall 2 and then run 3. But we start at the -2, then we're going to go down 2 and over 3. We could do it again, down 2 over 3. But what if you said, well, what if I put the negative in the bottom? What would happen? Because you have one negative, you can't put it in both, but you could put it in top or bottom. Well, if you put it in the here, you would go up 2, but then you would go backwards 3, and it would still fall on that line. So you can put the negative where you want, but you can only put it in one of those 2 places. I consistently put it in the numerator so I don't make the mistake of using it twice. All right, so there's my line as I connect up the points. And here's the last question on this one. If the slope is 3 and the y-intercept is 5, what is the equation of a line in slope-intercept form? Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Again, this is a review video, so you probably know that, but I'm just writing that in. The slope is 3. Slope is the m. The y-intercept is 5. The y-intercept is b. So I just go over to this equation and I say, well, m is 3 and b is 5. That would be the equation of the line. If I know the slope and the y-intercept, I just plug those two things in. All right, we'll see you next time.